Okay, Meilysa Fleming, UN Undersecretary General for Global Communications. We're very happy to have you with us today in Egypt Media Forum. And what do you think of the idea of the forum and the discussion panels, and especially with this year's theme in this edition, where we are all looking to how the media would be in 2023, and like the theme is, who will be leading?
Yeah, it's so important to gather together and to understand the role of traditional media, but also, like you're here very prominently, the role of non-traditional media, or news influencers, people who are delivering information to the populations that don't watch television news anymore or pick up newspapers, but access their information from the internet. It's really important to discuss how we can do this ethically and with integrity, so that in the end, we have a population that is still getting the facts.
True. But when we look on the younger generation, I would say like 40 years and going down, this generation, the relationship with the television, for example, is probably not only weak, but not present even. So, as you said, they take all their information from the digital world. And in your speech, you said there is a poison, which is misinformation. So, doing your work, how are you keen, or what do you do to make sure that you deliver the right messages through the different mediums?
Well, we're in a war of the narrative in the digital world, and I actually kind of feel sorry for the young people. It is a very enticing space, but it's very addictive, and it's intentionally addictive by the social media companies that are really, trying to find out more about you so they can deliver advertising and make money. You need to understand that if you're spending your time there. And you also need to understand that our digital ecosystem is riddled with misinformation, with disinformation, so deliberate disinformation, and with hate speech. And that often travels faster and gets more prominence by the algorithm than accurate information and facts. So it's really important to learn how to navigate if you're going to spend time there, and also just seek out trusted sources of information. Who do you follow? And go to them, and maybe not just randomly get the feed, but do it deliberately, so that okay, I trust that person. I trust that person for the following reasons, because he has or she has shown to me that they rely on good sources of information.
But you know what? Sorry for interruption. I believe this is a bit tricky, because, for example, if I'm following a famous doctor that I trust so much when he talks about medicine, would I give him the same trust if he is talking about politics now, for example?
You shouldn't.
I shouldn't. But this is where the trap is. Because some people, just because they trust X or Y, because X now is a platform, so if they just trust Y, and this person talks about anything, they take it for granted, because he's a professional in what he's doing, in his main profession. So when he speaks about anything else, probably he's on the same level. This is a bit tricky for the young generation, I think.
It is. I think it's important to learn who you go to and what their expertise is, and that is true everywhere in life. If you're a doctor, you're an expert on medicine, and that's where I'm going to go to learn about whether vaccines are safe, or how I can treat myself, or for whatever symptoms I have. We at the UN actually work with trusted messengers, and on TikTok and on other mediums, but during COVID, we worked with doctors and vaccine scientists. We delivered them WHO facts and just said, go produce in your own languages, talk to your audiences and your communities about vaccines. Now we're doing the same thing around climate change. We're working with lifestyle influencers in a number of countries. We're delivering them content and facts, but saying, please just talk to your audiences about what is climate change, what is renewable energy, how to spot disinformation, and it's really working. It's really taking off. They're not necessarily, in this case, true experts, but they have been informed, and their information comes from a trusted source. So it's one way to win the narrative online.
Yeah, and I totally respect actually your work because, as you said, I know that part of your focus is the traditional media, but you're doing a great job on the digital platforms to deliver the messages in the right way to the different generations. And my last question is, in your scope of work, and you've been in this post since 2019, as far as I know, what was the most challenging period? COVID,
No.
2020, or with what's happening now since 2023 and all the war happening in different countries?
I have to say the wars, the
wars.
Ukraine war, absolutely the war in Gaza. I have never experienced so much disinformation, attacks on the UN. So it's been very difficult as the head of communications to continuously try to, defend ourselves.
Yeah.
And to speak facts, truth to power in all of the channels, and especially online where all of the disinformation was traveling. And the final challenge is this horrific war in Sudan. We're finding that people just don't care. And as a communicator, it's a huge challenge to reach people's hearts around the atrocities and around the millions and millions of people, many who have, as you know, fled to Egypt, who are, with no fault of their own, the fallout from this senseless war, and that we need a stop to this war, and that they all need help, and of course the communities and the governments who are supporting them. I could go on and on. There's so many challenges, but I would say those are the top three.
Yeah, and I think that the biggest challenge of this era is misinformation, and now with the AI being present so much, I think finding the truth is the biggest challenge in the next 5 years.
Deep fakes, huge problem.
Yeah.
AI slop. But one of the advantages is that it is getting so bad that it's almost, I have met so many people who say, I can't stand it being there anymore. So I am actually really going to be focused on, if I spend my time online, on the people I trust. Maybe that's you.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. Meilysa, thank you so much. It's been a great pleasure, and we're happy to have you with us in EMF.
It was great to
Thank
be
you.
with you.
Thank you. Great pleasure.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thanks for that conversation.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for
much.
having
It
me.
was short and lovely. And please, can we have a picture together?
Absolutely.
Slim. Thank you so much. Such an honor. Thank you. Thank you so much. Pleased to meet you. Thank you.
Same to you. Thank you very much.